Welcome to Wild and Brave. Today, let's talk about how we feel at work. At work, everything in our life kind of funnels into a focus on tasks, on trying to achieve our goals. But what we realize when we think about it is how we feel as we tackle our tasks, how we feel as we engage our work and interact with our colleagues and clients really impacts the wear and tear that our professional life has on us. If we're feeling good, if we're feeling confident, if we're feeling calm or prepared, the same meeting can hit us, take a lot of our energy, but leave us feeling satisfied. If instead we show up for work and we're feeling anxious, behind, underprepared, stressed, the same meeting can leave us feeling depleted, drained, and discouraged about our ability to succeed and show up for the next thing in front of us. So, since how we feel as we tackle our work can really impact the wear and tear of our work life on us, it's important to notice what we can shift to improve our experience of work. At Wild and Brave, one of the major ways we do that, we think of it as a mental growth tactic, is we think about engaging our stress response. So we all have heard the term fight or flight, but fight or flight is only one of the stress responses that your body has. Whether you know it or not, your body is capable of having several different types of stress responses. And the way that you feel as you have that stress response is very different. So imagine something happens at work that is a stressor. A deadline shifts on a project, and now your workload has increased, or the fear of not being able to finish has increased. In that situation, your brain has the opportunity to tell one of three stories. One story that our brain often tells us when things change unexpectedly is, "This is bad." It's the same stress response biologically that your body has when you're in a situation and your brain says, "This will hurt." If you're in an accident or you are reacting to a painful situation, your brain story says, "This is bad, this will hurt." And that triggers a stress response that we, Wild and Brave, call the alert stress response. When you have an alert response, your body and your brain all funnel into an instinctual reaction. So that alert response helps us run away or kill the stressor in front of us. Now, in a context where we're chased by a wild animal, that or in a dangerous situation, we need to leap out of the pathway of danger, running and hiding or conquering the threat are great responses. It can save your life to have that fear response in the right context. But when you have that fear response to a change in a deadline at work, the same reaction of running away and hiding or escaping the opportunity in front of you can actually make you self sabotage. So at work, the alert response is often not the right stress response to have. Thankfully, your brain has another stress response, one we call the challenge response. A challenge response lets you see a threatening situation as an opportunity or a complex problem to solve. In that mode, your brain chemistry is actually different than the fight or flight response that makes you run. You have neurotransmitters like DHEA. They call it the molecule of wisdom because your brain, when it sees a challenge and feels the stress of an opportunity to win, it tries to go into a wise mode of analyzing what you consciously know and looking for what you don't know to create and blend new solutions for the future. Most of what you do at work are complex problems to solve, whether they're people problems or tasks that need to be completed. And when your brain is in challenge mode, you have the brain chemistry of creative problem solving at your fingertips. When you are in a challenge mode, you also learn more, your perspective broadens, and you're physically and biologically more able to bring your best to the situation. This is really helpful when things are stressful at work because challenging opportunities trigger that adrenaline. And if you funnel that adrenaline into problem solving mode or creative innovation mode with your challenge response, you're much more likely to succeed and experiment your way towards success. Also, at the end of that challenge response, your brain has created a different environment for repair. Instead of fleeing and having an immune response, your challenge response actually increases the brain health and allows your cells to repair and grow. The more challenges we face from a challenge stress response, we actually increase the health and the strength of our brain chemistry and our physical brain grows. So, if you have a challenge that needs to be conquered at work or something that to achieve an opportunity, having that challenge response and being able to shift yourself to that challenge mode really improves your ability to bring your best at work and not be run over by the opportunities showing up. But some of the things at work can't be conquered. And if you're not going to run for them and they can't be killed and you can't overcome them, things like everyday maintenance of your email, chronic problems, or the types of demands that just don't go away. Those types of stressors can't always be solved like a challenge response wants to solve problems. So you have a third or stress response that you can use in those contexts, and we call it the buddy up response. Your brain sometimes knows that the way to get through a situation is by teaming up with others. What your brain thinks about and the meaning of the situation really impacts your mental and emotional and physical resources to deal with the stress. So, the buddy up response helps you access and plug into others. It makes you more socially aware and brings your social intelligence to a situation. It also allows you to feel empathy and draw meaning from the work, the effort, even the suffering or the inconveniences that are being dealt with, and helps you not feel so alone in your workload. So, when you're at work, having the right stress response that's appropriate for the situation can really change your ability to enjoy what you're doing and for your stress response to shut off once you have faced the stressor. So, if you notice yourself going home at the end of the day with a brain that is still running with problems from work, or finding yourself anticipating and kind of dreading certain projects or certain tasks on your list, consider learning more about your stress response and learning to shift mode so that your body has the resources to show up, get excited about whatever the problem is, and come to a fulfilling and satisfying conclusion. As we improve the quality of our stress response, we actually find that we are more energized at work and we're less drained by the effort that we're putting out. If you've ever tackled some physical challenge and you slept amazing that night after giving all of your energy to the activity, your mental and emotional energy works very much the same if you're using the right stress responses at work. So, if you'd like to learn more about shifting your stress response, because you can learn to tell a better story, you can check out my book, Think Wild. Mental Growth Tactic 2 is shifting your stress response. In general, we want to tell a better story about our stress. Instead of this is bad, this will hurt, which keeps us in alert response, we can tell the story of this is new, this is an opportunity, and draw out our best creative problem solving. Or we can tell the story of this matters to us. We're in this together. And you can team up with your monkey buddies and the people you care about to feel compassion for the strain that is being put on others and notice that your own burden gets lightened as you feel more connected and more engaged at work. The DHEA that helps your brain grow when you have a challenge response is mirrored in your buddy up response with something called oxytocin. You might think of that as the love hormone or the hug hormone. When our body feels close and connected to someone else, releases that neurotransmitter that actually triggers the strengthening of your physical heart. So while you are feeling and engaged more in a connected way with others, you actually become more connected and healthier on a physical level. Your work every day and the stresses that come along with it provide opportunities for your body to get healthier and stronger. If the stresses at work feel like they're wearing you down and grinding you, it might be because you haven't yet learned some of the stress responses that can turn your effort into more meaning and fulfillment and clean up your energy cycle so that you feel fulfilled by the work you're doing and you can rest well after a good day's work. Thank you for joining us at Wild and Brave. We'll see you at wildandbrave.com.